everyone. Thank you all for joining me on today. I know it's kind of like early, so I just wanted to come on here and just share some tips. I'm super excited because we are actually getting ready for back to school. And so I wanted to just come on here and just provide you all with some tips on how we're starting off our school year. And so, before we even get started, I want to go ahead and introduce myself for those who are new to my channel. My name is Shalandra Gurley. I am the proud founder of Autism Glows, where I empower mothers, parents, educators to be the model for our kids while living a balanced life with confidence. So, let's get started. If you all are so excited, if you all are ready and you are, ready for this new school year, drop it below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you are ready for your kids to go back to school. Let me know, when are they starting school? What week. So my kids are actually starting school the second week of August. So I ended up talking to a friend of mine and I was like, hey, are you excited about your kids going back to school? They were like, yeah. So I know a lot of parents are extremely excited. And I know a lot of parents are like, like the summer just started. So that's where I am. I'm like, we just started and I'm really not ready, but I know we have to get ready and we have to be prepared. And so today I just want to talk to you all about sharing some ways on how you can start a successful school year. And so, for those who do not know, I am a passionate educator with over 10 years of experience. I have two amazing and talented love bugs. So I'm in this place where I can't believe that my kids are in the grades that they're in. Like I feel as though that they was just little babies. Like now they're like in the upper elementary, and I'm like about to cry because I'm like, they was just little. They was just in pre-K and first grade. Now they're growing up. And so, let me know if you feel me, like if you like, hey, my babies was just little. Now they're, some parents turn around, their babies are going to high school. So yeah, drop that below and let me know. So I wanted to go ahead and get started. And like I said, I just want to just share with you all some ways on how we're going to start a successful school year off. And so today's topic again is about having a successful school year. And as I preach this over and over and over again in everything that I do, we are not looking for perfection. This is not the place. We are not looking for perfection. What we're looking for is to make sure that we have consistency in our life, we have structure, we have peace, we have balance. And so that is where I'm coming from. So I want to just come to you and share these tips on how you can be able to start your year off with a positive mindset, but also give you some practical tools that you can implement right now. And so for some people, kids are actually starting next week. Some are starting the first week of August. And so what we have to make sure as parents, we have to make sure that we are positioning ourselves to make sure that we're not stressed out in the first month of August. We're not stressed out. We're not overwhelmed. And we're not trying to do everything at once. So making sure that we are creating a routine that works for us. So we have to make sure that we are creating routines that works for us. My love bugs here, we have a morning and a night routine. And so as I have mentioned previously in some of my videos, is that I was raised by my grandmother. And so I like to go back to the basics because that is what keeps me afloat. And so my grandmother had us to iron all of our clothes the weekend before school. And so we had to do everything on Saturday because Sunday, the iron board was probably hidden somewhere, or you just didn't go and touch that iron because you knew you was going to get in trouble. But with that being instilled in me for so long, I do that here. And so just making sure that I'm ironing all of our clothes the weekend, before, and that helps me to, release the stress and the worries, and not have to figuring out, don't have to figure out, what are we going to wear. Everything is already laid out, everything is organized. And so just being able to create a system that works best for you. And so that is something that I do on a regular, and it helps. I'm telling you all, it helps. So what we have to do as parents, we have to make sure that we start now, and we have to be consistent. So if you're going to make the decision that, okay, I'm ironing out of our clothes on Saturday, then you need to make sure that you're doing that consistently. If you're saying, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and iron at least 2 days, then make sure you do that. So in your mind, you already, have that set, because when school starts, we already know these projects going to be popping up. Then with this pandemic, it might be another way where another time where they might say, hey, kids are no longer coming, face to face. Now they have to go virtual. So just making sure that you are setting yourself and your kids up for success. So already having those clothes laid out. Another thing I started doing was meal prepping. And so I know I'm a school teacher, like I said. So I like to set up our calendar as if they are at school, like a cafeteria almost style. So I have like what we're having for breakfast, what we're having for lunch, what we're having for dinner. And it's already laid out. It's no, we're going to run down here to Chick-fil-A. Nope. Because first of all, these gas prices are already high. And then at the end of the day, I know with us going to Chick-fil-A, that's over $30 already, because I have to make sure that I get my cookie and I want my sweet tea. So I'm just going to go ahead and block that out, because we want to make sure that, first of all, we're budgeting. So meal prepping helps, because and the kids know, especially if you set it up real nice on a calendar, and you have like what we're having for breakfast, what we're having for lunch, what we're having for dinner. The kids already know. And then also you can include them in it. You can include them in the meal prepping process. You can be able to have them, get the containers, or you can have them to, pull out the ingredients, but include them. But we have to start now, and we have to be consistent. So again, some things that I implement here at home, and hopefully, you can be able to do the same thing. I just like to go the whole week, but to start off, if you want to say, hey, I just want to do 2 days, or I just want to do 3 days, then that's great. We just have to start and be consistent with that, so you have a flow and you're not overwhelmed each week. You're not overwhelmed each week, and you're not stressed out. And so another thing is meal prepping, making sure that the kids, or your spouse, or whomever, everybody knows what we're eating for the week and what that looks like. And having that visual calendar will be able to help your family members have an idea of what to look forward to for that week. And so that is some things that I do to make sure that we are starting off having a successful school year, because anything can happen. Life happens. I understand. But I want to make sure that you are set up for success. Okay. So another thing, with my son being diagnosed with both autism and ADHD, I want to make sure that he understands that he is a leader. Regardless of what's going on, regardless of what people say, I have to make sure that I am instilling in him that he is a leader, that he has so much to offer. And so I have to make sure that I am constantly building up my son's and my daughter's confidence. I want them both to know that they are unique, that they are smart, that they are intelligent. So being able to build their confidence and having that time, and having those affirmations, whether it's on a sticky note and you have it on their mirror in their room, or you have it at the door, but being able to build their confidence consistently, not just one day, whether you create put it on a sticky note and put it inside of their lunchbox. And so when they open up their lunchbox in the cafeteria, they have a special note, from you. And so, and with some words of encouragement. And that is something that I always do with my love books. I switch it up here and there because, they think that they know me, like, okay, mommy gonna go ahead and put a sticky note, but sometimes I flip it. So even when I pick them up in a parent pickup loop, sometimes I have the sticky note on their seat, in the back seat when they come, when I pick them up. Or what I do is I have a snack for them. I already have a little word of encouragement. I like to just go a little extra because that's what I do, especially with my students in the classroom. I do the same thing for them. So what I do for my kids, I do the same thing for my students in the classroom because I want everybody to know that they are loved, that they are supported. And I want to make sure that they are believing in themselves. Like I believe in them, but I want them to believe in themselves as well and know that they have a support system here that's rooting for them and just want nothing but the best for them. So just being able to consistently build our kids' confidence. And so, like I stated, we can go ahead and, create those sticky notes or have a card or email the teacher and be able to send a positive note and ask the teacher, is there something that she can or he can be able to share with your child, just to say, hey, mom, just thinking about you. Hope you're having a great day. Something that's going to be able to, increase their confidence and to help them to think more positively and not be so caught up with what's going on, but just being focused on, their reason why being at the school, and that's for them to get an education. But we have to make sure that we are providing them with the tools they need to be successful. So just building that, building their confidence and also establishing that relationship with their teachers and being able to, be open. Let the teachers know what your child's strengths are, what your child's interests are. Have their dialogue with your child's teacher and be able to let them know that you are here to support. It's not I dropped my kids off and leave it up to the teacher. I experienced that a lot, but I would rather for my parents to be involved in this process as well, because it's a partnership. It's all about us. If we, create this strong bond, then the child will be able to understand that, hey, my parents and my teacher are both rooting for me. They collaborate with one another. They communicate with each other, and they all talk about me, and they just want nothing but the best. That's building that child's confidence. And so just making sure that you are staying in connection with your child's teacher, having those frequent conversations, and just being able to see how you can be a support to the classroom. And, maybe if your child's school is open where you can come in and observe and be that classroom mom or dad, then, do that, be more involved and be more visible. And then our kids will be, they will start to see how important the relationship that you have with the teacher really is. They will be able to see how you value that. And so I just want to say that is something that I always enjoy doing, is having that conversation with my kids' teacher. I want them to know that I'm here. I'm not just dropping my kids off and going on about my day. I want you to know that this is a partnership. You can call me, you can text me, and you can email me if there's anything that you need, any support, anything to be able to help my child as well as the others in the classroom. I'm here. And so that is what I look forward to every year, is building that strong relationship with my kids' teacher. And then my kids can be able to see that, okay, this is important to mom. Okay. So I have to make sure that I'm doing my best as well. And when they see what you value, then that will be able to shift their way of thinking. And so I wanted to just let you know that building your child's confidence, I'm telling you, it's going to be a game changer, because they're going to understand that, hey, they really, really, really care about me and they want me to do my best. Like I stated earlier, this is not about perfection. This is not about perfection. We want to make sure that there's structure. Our kids need structure, and you have to understand that your kids are coming off summer mode. So what we have to do, we have to make sure that we are training them and modeling for them how to be successful. But we want to make sure that we are leading by example. And by leading by example, we're starting now. If your kids are getting ready for school, we have to make sure that there's a routine in place, because guess what? When they go to school, they're going to be a routine in place. They're going to have structure inside of the classroom. They're going to have structure out in the hallway. So we have to make sure that we're providing that structure at home. Am I saying strict? No, I'm saying structure. Make sure that they understand what's expected, and then be able to show them. We have to constantly, especially we have to make sure that we have these visuals and being able to have examples on how to do a certain task. And so we have to make sure, I know a lot of parents, when the pandemic first happened, it was like, oh my God, I didn't sign up to be a teacher, but you always been a teacher. So you are your child's first teacher. And so we have to make sure that, we are constantly, training them and modeling for them and being able to show them, what behaviors are expected, that are acceptable, and the ones that are not. So making sure that we are building our kids' confidence and being the model that they need. And so before I even go on to the next, I just want to see if you all have any comments. How are you feeling about this upcoming school year? Are your kids virtually, or your kids going face to face? Let me know. And shout out to all the educators. Like I'm so excited that we're getting, there's progress. There's more support coming for our educators. So I just want to show my little mug here. Teachers rule. I have that every day, whether it's tea, coffee, water, whatever. I love my mug. So and I want to shout out to my parents. You all are such a huge support in the school, whether you believe it or not. You are needed. Please don't ever think that your support is not needed. Please don't ever think that your opinions or your values are not accepted. I want you to get involved. I want you to be present. I want you to be able to know that regardless of what happened last year, we're starting this school year off on a positive note. Okay. We're starting this school year off right. Why? Because we're going in with a different perspective. We're going in with a new mindset, and we want to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success. We're setting our kids up for success. And why and how we're going to do that? By communicating, by connecting, and by building confidence. And so when you are constantly communicating with your child's teacher, not the harassing side, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you genuinely want to support, you genuinely care about what's going on inside of your child's classroom, and you just want to be able to understand. Just like I had a lot of parents that reached out to me and they was like, oh, I don't understand this new math, and just being open and transparent with them, and letting them know that, I appreciate them reaching out and just being that support system. So that's what it's all about, is supporting each other and making sure that we all understand what's expected, and keeping that in mind, and know that, we're here because of the child. And so just being able to understand that, we can be able to move forward. All right. And then another thing I want you all to know, that I understand that it's going to get challenging. I understand that you're going to receive homework that you're going to be like, okay, what in the world is this? But I want you to know that you cannot give up. Giving up is not an option, you all. That's why we have to stay communicating with each other. We have to stay in connection, And so if you find it where it's overwhelming for you or you need support, you can definitely reach out, to me. You can definitely, reach out to your child's teacher. But make sure that you don't wait till the last minute where, okay, let's say that, it's getting kind of challenging for your child at school. And so that's why I said we have to communicate more. And when we're communicating more, then that's a good way to build a stronger relationship. And then we can be able to better understand what everybody need, or some things that we need in order for us to be able to show progress. And so giving up is not an option. So make sure that you're constantly having those conversations with your child's teacher, so that and with your child, have those conversations when you're picking them up from school, or after school care, or when they're coming home from on the bus. Whenever you all meet, have that conversation about checking in. How was your day? What did you learn today? And being able to talk about the homework and see that they actually understand it. And if not, and if you wasn't able to understand it, reach out. But let's not assume that because our kids are in a certain grade that they actually have it. So I just want you all to constantly be in communication with your child and with your child's teacher, because it is necessary. It is necessary so that you can be able to understand what is expected, so that we are not, no child is left behind, no parent is left behind. Nobody feel as though that, someone is, my child is failing and no. We as the parent, we're going to go ahead and we're going to step forward, and we're going to move forward with a new mindset, saying that, hey, this year, we're starting this year off with a mindset to succeed. Regardless of what happened last year, we're focusing on ways on how we can succeed. And so constantly staying in communication with your child's teacher and with your child. Okay. So again, do not wait to the last minute. If you feel as though that, like I stated, being able to share your child's strengths, some of your child's interests. If you know that your child is, struggling when it comes to math or whatever, let's go ahead and already, put that out and let the teacher know, so that, they can be able to find, different ways to connect. And of course, they're going to identify that too when it comes to testing and things like that. But, if you find like a small group that you can be able to connect with and be able to have your child involved in that group, then that is awesome, because you want your child to be set up for success. So again, giving up is not an option. We're not settling. We're not just throwing up the flag, or just saying, okay, I can't do this. So now you have this mindset of, I'm not going to do it. I don't care. It is what it is. No, we want to be proactive, and we want to be present, like I said, and we want to make sure that we're consistent with everything that we're doing. We're not looking for perfection, but what we're looking for is structure. We're looking for balance, and we want to make sure that you have peace. We want to make sure you have peace. And then lastly, what I want to talk to my parents after we have our schedule. Okay. We want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. You are taking care of yourself, because when you take care of yourself first, how you can be able to show up and be the model that your child needs. And so I want you to understand that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you have to make sure that you are releasing that you are recharging daily. Do not hold all of this stress on the inside, because it's not good for you. And, and be able to lash out, on the wrong person. So making sure that make sure that you are taking care of yourself, making sure that you are releasing the stress of the day and recharging, doing something that you enjoy. Maybe it's exercising, maybe it's, reading your favorite book, or watching your favorite movie, or dancing, or, reading your Bible, whatever it is. Do something that's going to be able to help you to recharge, to refuel, so that you are showing up as the best version of yourself for your child, because they need you. Okay. And so I just wanted to come on here and just share those things with you all, because it is needed. We are getting ready for school, whether we are prepared or not, whether we don't want to go, we have to. Okay. Our kids need to continue their educational journey, and we need to make sure that we are setting them up for success, and also making sure that we have systems in place that works for them. And so I want to go ahead and review before I even end this live. So like I stated earlier, we have to start now and be consistent. As I stated, I was raised by my grandmother, so we had to iron our clothes on Saturday. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, you probably don't have to do like me and do the 5 days. You can start off, step by step. You can do 2 days, or you can do 3 days, but as long as you get started and be consistent. So if you're saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to iron all our clothes for 3 days on Sunday, then make sure that you block out that time in your schedule, so that you know that, okay, this is my time to be able to prep for our clothes or whatever. If you're going to be meal prepping, already have that list, include the kids, include every family member, and let them know, like, okay, I'm getting ready. So we can already have our meals for the upcoming week. These are some of the ideas, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I already have that laid out. And so that way everybody can be able to know. So when they get their urge and be thinking like, hey, we're going to run up on, run to Chick-fil-A. No, we're not today. We're going to do Chick-fil-A homemade style, with a little twist. And then also let them know that when you do it homemade style, this is how I build my kids' confidence. And this is how I teach them at home. When you do it homemade style, guess what? You get seconds. Guess what? You save money. And then guess what? You can eat in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go out. You don't have to waste no gas, none of that. And so you have to ask your kids, when you pull up, when you make your day where, okay, it might be a day where we're going to, Chick-fil-A or whatever, you can pull up and then you all place your order, but then you look at that tab. Okay. And then you be able to see how much everything costs. And then you do the same thing when you go to the grocery store, but you let them know once they're done. And then wait an hour later and ask them, an hour or two, are you hungry? Are you able to get seconds? Then, my love bugs, they be like, oh yeah, you can, but you're gonna have to pay for it, of course. But if you're at home and you do a homemade style, guess what? You can get seconds at home. And guess what? You don't even have to pay extra for it. So that's how you do the kids. Okay. So you won't be around here stressed out. Okay. And then another thing, I talked about building our kids' confidence, making sure that, we're talking to the teachers and having those conversations and letting the teachers know what our kids' strengths are, as well as what they're interested in doing, so let them know that, okay, over the summer, oh, my child, math, when it came down to multiplication facts, got it down packed. When it came to, we went on a scavenger hunt and we was talking about a raise, and he was able to identify the raise in the stores and, as we was traveling, be able to share those things, because when your child hear, you speaking, highly of them, they will perform better, you all. So just being able to have that conversation with your child's teacher as well, and let the teacher know that you are here, that you are present, that you are active, and you are here to support. All right. And then the last thing I talked about is giving up is not an option. We cannot give up. I know it's going to be challenging. I know it's going to be some days you're not going to want to be able to, give up, get up. But I want you to know that you have to make sure that as the parent that you are taking care of yourself, that you are operating from a version of yourself that's going to show up and be the model for your kids. And so giving up is not an option. So making sure that you are taking care of you first. All right. So making sure that you are taking care of you first. And then guess what? You when you find this rhythm where you are releasing and recharging constantly, this is a daily thing. This become a new habit for you. It's going to be a flow to it. You're going to do it without even actually thinking about it. And then you're going to be able to have this glow about yourself. And then you can show up and your kids will be able to notice this and the people around you. So I get excited, all right, because I'm just in that flow now and I'm loving it. I'm enjoying every bit of it, So making sure that you have peace, balance, and structure in your life, because again, when your kids go to school, they're going to have structure in their environment as well. They're going to have peace and balance. And so we want to make sure that we have the same thing at home. All right. So do we have any questions, any type of, comments? You can drop them below. I look forward to, reading them and hearing more about them, about what you have to say. I'm just super excited because this is cool. I love school. I always wanted to be a teacher since I was in the first grade. So yes, these are my ways and my tips of how you can start a successful school year. So I pray that you was able to receive something on today that was beneficial to you, that you can implement today, and we can be able to set you and your child up for success. Look forward to seeing you all. Go over to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over those platforms as Autism Glows. Definitely check me out. I'll be having some tips and strategies and doing more videos with my love bugs and being able to show you all how you can be able to connect with your kids and communicate more effectively. And I look forward to seeing you all. So if there's not any more like comments or questions, then I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I just want to say thank you all once again for just being here and listening to me. So have a great day. And I wish your child nothing but success this school year and on. And for you, I wish you nothing but the best. Have a great day.